Hello, YouTube. Welcome to episode three of Shane playing Spirit Island. Today, I'm going to fight Brandenburg-Prussia. Brandenburg-Prussia? There is an N in there. Brandenburg-Prussia. Sorry, history people who got very angry at me at the end of last video. We're gonna fight Brandenburg-Prussia. There's still a chance I'm mispronouncing it. And once again, we're not giving them any of these level bonuses. They're just going to, at stage 2, on each board that still has cities and towns, which, let's face it, probably they will on the one board that exists. We will have to add one town to a land that doesn't currently have towns. I'm still uncertain if those are called towns. I'm pretty sure they're called towns. I should have gone and looked it up at some point between these videos, but I have not. So we're going to keep calling them towns, and if it's wrong, it will be wrong in several videos. Okay, so let's go. See what the initial flop brings us. Showing up in the mountains. Okay. Those mountains are fairly far outside of our reach. It is not possible for us to target a sudden ambush from where we are now. When I put out a presence, I could put it into a place where we can sudden ambush, which is probably a decent move. I'm thinking maybe our usual turn 1 manifestation isn't really a super great thing on this particular setup. Well, I don't know. It's always really fun. Let's see. So with Gather the Warriors, if I'm... Okay. Let's assume we're doing this here so that we can target those places. I don't like to have it out there by itself, but that's fine. We'll scoop it up soon. So if we were doing sudden ambush and manifesting, that is going to give us Gather the Warriors, which can gather upwards of 2 guys. So, and then push up to 1. Yeah, it gives us a really hard time manifesting anywhere that matters. We can certainly ambush into here, or technically even here, we just waste the gather that way. And then we could use the Gather the Warriors to grab these 2 and push them into, push one of them into here. But that still only gives us a 2 damage manifest, which I guess is enough and gives us some fear, but I almost feel like we're better off leaving one of these places intact, having a good target for Words of Warning next turn, and being able to manifest next turn instead. So at that point, we want to use Voice of Thunder this turn, and probably looking to just use that for the fear, but if there's a place where we really want to move people, we are sort of not in a great starting position, so maybe that's what we'll end up using it for. Probably depends on their second Explorer. Yep, calling that good. So as I'm thinking about it, yeah, I think we do want a sudden ambush here. It takes advantage of the gather portion, which if I do it here, there's nowhere to gather from. And that at least starts us with 1 person in here, so that when we're doing our Words of Warning next turn, we've already got someone there. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, let's see where they're at. Okay, well, The sands are much easier for us to get to, so we're a little bit happy about that. I think I don't really need my Voice of Thunder for movement because we are already in this sand and we have a big old warband right next to this sand. So, sure enough, we will Voice of Thunder for the 2 fear. And then Gather the Warriors is going to be a gather 2, push 1. I think it makes a lot of sense to do it here, just to get us into this spot so that we can do something about it on future turns. So, we will grab these 2, put this over here. That is it for pushing. Alright. So, as intended, we can do a Words of Warning here. We can manifest probably here. I don't like that they're about to build in a place with blight, and even though I can defend it, because I'll be doing a reclaim at the end of this turn, it would be nicer to just take care of that. So, since we know we're going to be wiping this out, I guess right now we're not wiping that out with a manifest, because that's only 2 damage. But then they're going to ravage, so that'll take care of the last one. So probably I want my presence here for this turn. You know, I'm starting to rethink that presence ad. Really, I think it should come from the air this turn, because this doesn't get us anywhere. Although it does get us to the 3 plays sooner. No, I was right the first time. So, playing our 2 cards. We've got all sorts of nonsense here. I always forget about Lead the Furious Assault, but maybe we can do something with it. If not, not the end of the world. Finish playing cards. Words of Warning is going in the only place getting ravaged that I care about. Putting that 2 damage right there. They're building in the sand. They're exploring in the wetlands. Alright. One thing I don't like about the situation we're in is they are pretty deeply entrenched over here. I very much like it when we can eliminate all of the buildings from this side of the island so that they can't get as many explorers in, which does make it more tempting to manifest over here. Just take care of that, but since I don't have an easy way to deal with this, well, okay, actually, let's rethink that. So if I manifest here, I completely wipe out everything in there. Then we gather the warriors to bring 2 guys up here. Then we could lead the Furious Assault, wipe that out, and then they don't have any buildings. Oh, except then they're going to build here. That is next turn. Maybe we can take care of that guy before that happens? I think there's a pretty good chance we can take care of that guy before that happens. Yeah, let's go ahead and manifest over here. Wait, was that what I said I was going to do? That is not what I said I was going to do. I'm going to manifest here. Then I'm going to gather. And we are good with no pushes. Then assault, and we good. Okay, obviously a reclaim turn. We're going to have 5 energy. We would like at least 1 of it for a Words of Warning to take care of this place. And maybe, if nothing else, we will sudden ambush here to prevent that guy from building. Or we could manifest over here. Since that place is about to build, that's going to be 6 buildings. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. What's the minor power deck got for us? Lots of good air choices. Even though in 3 games, this is my 3rd game now. In the first 2 games, we have not actually gotten up to the point where we have 4 air and we're doing stuff fast, but it could still happen. We're still gonna prepare for that in case things don't advance as quickly as we want them to. I think this one seems like the best choice. It's potentially a defend 4, which is very strong. It's 0 cost. It gives us air. It doesn't give us any other symbols, but the ones that do give us symbols aren't really doing that much. We're not ever going to have enough rock for the big version of this, so it's just killing a guy. And I feel like I have lots of ways to do that, especially for 1 energy. And again, we don't usually have a lot of reach problems because we can move around our presence. This one doesn't have air. It's also slow damage, so yep, that card's poopy. Alright, so the only air card we have is one that is going to add Blight. I don't like adding Blight as a rule. It also requires us to have Blight in order to get our full effect out of it. And all it's really doing is pushing people around. It does have some good symbols, and it's free, but I just really don't like adding Blight. So, if we're not picking that one, having a defend 6 in our back pocket is always nice. We won't necessarily play it, but just having it in our hand in case something goes very wrong in the next turn or 2 is probably worth picking it up. This one adds fear. We can push some stuff around. It's slow. Don't really like it. This one gives us a little bit of energy. Kind of okay symbols, but no air. And it's only getting us 1 energy that we can't use that turn. I think we're going to go with the defend. Okay, so what's on the docket for this turn? The Ravaging over here. We obviously need to defend that place. So one of our cards is definitely defending that place. We do have a few options for that now, including this one, which would do defend 4 and cost nothing. Our usual fallback, Words of Warning, would be plenty fine there. It does cost 1. Gets us a Sun. I'm not sure. We might want to trigger Lead the Furious Assault. We'll see how it goes. If we were able to trigger Lead the Furious Assault to take care of this place, what would that look like? I think that might be asking for too much. So basically I'm looking at, I really would love to manifest here with a lot of guys. That probably involves playing a card that has animal on it, so that we can trigger a Gather the Warriors. Probably gathering... It's actually pretty difficult to get much presence down there now that I'm looking at it, so maybe manifesting there isn't actually as good as it often is, which you kind of hate to see. Probably we're going to end up using that Nature's Resilience that we took here. Okay, so if we're giving up our dreams of manifesting here, that means we can focus on these 2 spots. A sudden ambush takes care of this guy. It is 2 power, which is a little expensive, but it also gets some of our presence more toward the coast, which is nice. Do I have any cheaper ways to deal with that? Not really. So let's say we're doing a sudden ambush. At that point, we're not going to be able to lead the Furious Assault, but I'm not sure we'd really have the setup for it anyway. We can defend here with a number of different things. Probably Drift Down to Slumber makes sense, since it is defend 4 there specifically, and Words of Warning is defend 3 anywhere. So that's going to be potentially more useful later. So we'll go ahead and use this Drift Down into Slumber. And that gets us a Gather. Gather 2, which is at least enough to start moving us in the right direction. Alright, let's call that good. So, we are ambushing here with one of these guys. Taking a presence. Alright, we are drifting down here. Right, I forgot we were getting fear cards. What did that even do? In each land, defend 1 per Dahan. Well, that's fine. Okay. They have decided to go after the coast, which means that our adversary ability isn't doing anything, because that's the one Phase 2 card that does not have the Phase 2 escalation symbol. Okay, so obviously this is a huge problem now. A defend 6 will get it done, which means we probably want to pile as much in there as we can and do a defend 6. So as much as we can right now is just targeting there directly, bringing over this and this. Not as much movement as we're used to, but it's fine. Okay. So in order to target Nature's Resilience, we do need a Sacred Site. But thankfully we can add a presence and get that done for us. So dropping that right there. Alright, so we've got a Sacred Site, so we can play this. That's a good start. We don't need Words of Warning, because that is superfluous in this situation. So I sort of feel like we may as well manifest, even if it's going to be a kind of small one. We can potentially deal with one of these 2 lands that's about to build, and probably wipe it out with whatever we move in there. We've got to gather the warriors, we've got to lead the Furious Assault, got a Voice of Thunder, so we'll have a lot of options in the slow phase depending on how things are looking. So, Nature's Resilience, right there. We've got 4 damage to assign, so pretty much whenever you can kill a city, kill a city. And then we'll take out an Explorer with that last point of damage. Now, I forgot that would mean they would build a city there, because they're also building on the coast. Okay, do we want to rethink that? I don't think so. I think this just means that our manifest is going there now, and it will be stronger than I was initially expecting. Alright. So, now the adversary ability is happening. We have to add a town to a land. I think, even though it has Blight, this is probably our best target. Anything else gives them a lot more Explorer range, which we don't want to give them. And so I think we're just going to plop that right down here. Alright. They were still able to explore this place, which I don't like, but there's not that much I can do about it. So, at this point, we have a range to gather and push, followed by a push 4 if we want it. That could definitely scoop almost all of my pieces into this space and just do a bunch of damage. So, let's see the best way to do this. If we did a gather 1 here, push these 2 here, that way I get to take my presents with it. We leave this guy just as sort of a backup in case we find a decent place to use him. At that point, we've got 2 in here with 2 presents. We push them both over here. We end up 4 times 4 is 16. That definitely wipes out this place. Is there anything we can do that's less overkill that does other good things? Probably leaving one of them in here. I guess there would be 3 in here, so we could leave 2 behind. If we just move 1 over, then we are at 9 damage. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is still more than enough. I think that's the play. That way we get rid of a town here, wipe this place completely clean, and that works out pretty well. Okay, so gather the warriors. I guess we can gather this guy. Why not, right? Why shouldn't we? I don't see any reason not to. Bring this down as well. Alright, then we push this here. We push this here. We take some presents with it. And then we've got a guy here, which is potentially more useful. Okay, then we... Voice of Thunder for 1? It feels like a waste, but it's really, really not, because that 1 extra guy takes it from 4 damage to 9 damage. So, here, push you, here, finish pushing, move 1 presence, then we manifest here. Then, hold on, well, yeah, we still want to do it that way. Alright, I was thinking we could have done Lead the Furious Assault before we did Voice of Thunder, and then we could push more over there if we want to, but honestly, this is already a very formidable force, so I think we're good. We're just going to Furious Assault here, take care of that place. We are definitely reclaiming this turn, because we only had 1 card, which means we don't quite get our fast stuff yet. But we do get some new powers. We're going to have 5 to use it. They are going to Ravage on the coast. They're going to build in 0 wetlands, because all of the wetlands are empty. Ravaging this coast does nothing. Ravaging this coast currently gets us a blight. So we probably want to move some people down here and then defend it so that all of that is good. Alright, but we can do all that with cards we already have. So, I think this is when we check out what the major power deck has to offer us and see if maybe we can just win the game like we did that one time. Okay, so 1 fear and defend 6, and we downgrade some stuff. It's also got a greater version that we will not have enough water for. Downgrading stuff is nice. Definitely is a neat way to get rid of towns, which is something we would like to do. Vengeance of the Dead. I've seen that card get a lot of value. I don't think this is the game where that's going to happen. I don't think a lot of people are dying in this game. And even though we do have the animals to make it work, I think this is going to be a little more than we really need. Power Storm has all the symbols I like, except for animal. We almost certainly will have the upgrade version of it. It will target ourselves for 3 energy. We get that 3 energy back immediately. Once per turn, we can repeat a power card by paying its energy cost again. That's not bad, and we've had enough energy to take advantage of it. Then, since I'll have the symbols, target may repeat up to 2 more power cards by paying their costs. That's pretty neat. I think that has a lot of potential. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around all the implications of it right now, but on the surface, I like the card, and I'm going to try it. We'll drop Nature's Resilience because I think that was sort of a one-off situation that isn't likely to happen again. And again, that doesn't have all the symbols I like. So, then we are going to... Do we get greedy and keep digging? Because if I find a better one, I can always just lose Power Storm. If I find a worse one, I can lose the card that I just got. And as discussed, I sort of have what I need to deal with what's on the board right now. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just see what's in the minor power deck. More elemental boons, some delusions of danger. I think we're taking elemental boon again. That just gives us lots of options as far as what we play, and being at 3 card plays, it seems likely to matter. Okay, so to take care of here, we can sudden ambush to get in there, and then we can probably... Oh, it is a jungle, so we can drift down to defend it rather than Words of Warning it. Doesn't get us suns, so 2 suns and 1 fire would be nice. Does Elemental Boon say 3 different? Yes, 3 different. Okay, so if instead of drift down, we did Words of Warning, that gets us a sun. At that point, we can play 1 other card with a sun. We can't afford Power Storm, sadly. We could Voice of Thunder, or we could Elemental Boon. Voice of Thunder has other advantages besides the elements, so I think we go for that. Alright, so that gets us a Gather the Warriors, a Lead the Furious Assault. I think that lets us at least destroy either this town or the town that will be here. And kind of go from there. Alright. So, we are ambushing here. We are defending here. Find out what the fear card does. We are removing... Ooh. Well, I think this is probably the obvious choice, because then they don't build here, and then we can probably win in the slow phase? Let's see how that goes. We also get to remove a guy from a coastal land. That's fairly irrelevant, seeing as how this guy was about to die anyway, but whatever. Now he just left. Okay. Where are they exploring? The jungle. Okay. So I do have to add another town, because Brandenburg-Prussia. That means we cannot win this turn with Lead the Furious Assault like I was hoping. But we can put that town in a place where we were probably already going to be able to lead, rather than needing to gather into it. So we can do... And we can probably win during the fast phase of next turn. So let's go here. And then we can just Lead the Furious Assault here. Destroy that newly minted town. How is this card deck out, by the way? We've still got a while before we get to level 3. So yes, I think we are on the destroy this during the fast phase of next turn. How are we going to do that? Well, I think we can get 4 air next turn. We can have a fast lead the Furious Assault. That seems plausible to me. So, Gather the Warriors is going to be a gather 3, push 2. I think we just want to Voice of Thunder for the fear, and gather the warriors here for 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And finish. Okay. So assuming I'm doing this, because it's what I usually do, putting this here, I guess. Then we can play. Okay, so they're not ravaging anywhere. They're only building here. But it probably doesn't matter because we can win during the fast phase. So, fast phase, boom, boom, boom. That doesn't actually get us the symbols. Oh, but it will because Elemental Boon symbol's not there yet. Okay, so finish playing cards. Then we Elemental Boon ourselves. We go Animal, Air, and is it Sun? Okay, we've got Gather the Warriors active now. And we can use either of these as fast now. So we can just lead the Furious Assault here and win. Is there anything we can do that bolsters that victory? I don't see a way to get rid of that blight or add more Dahan. So yeah, I think we just finish it off. Alright. That was pretty good. I think better than our time against Sweden, if I'm not mistaken, because they didn't convert or kill any of our Dahan. It ended up being the same. Oh, there was one fewer invader card in deck. So we didn't kill them as fast, which makes sense for Prussia. They tend to move pretty fast. So that's how that went. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these, and next time we will take on England.